know what to do. Head on.
Let's finish them quick. Ah!
Taste my fury.
Oh!
I grant you death.
Not used to lighting enemies on fire first.
Unworthy.
This should do it.
This is going to hurt.
Cannot hide from me.
Be easier if you not fight back.
Wretched things.
A calculated
That
risk.
hurt? Good.
Cool it.
Nowhere to run. No strike wasted.
Come here, Bax. Not stab you.
Share your troubles. Focus on the goal.
In Pharasma's name.
No mistakes.
Share your will.
Where now? Knock hears. With
I am
ears.
prepared. Enemy approaching.
I aim true.
Cool off.
Which knife to use?
This will hurt. Repent!
I grant you
Time
death.
is not waiting.
That's what I do.
Something bothering you? I'm listening. Confide. All according to plan. Ready for anything.
State your desire.
Listening as hard as I can.
Keep your eyes open.
Right here, my friend.
Ask, and I shall answer.
Share your trouble.
Please not rap skull. Who's there? You're lost.
Focus on the goal. No mistakes.
But of course. Let's make this quick.
Cannot hide from me.
Let's try this way.
Taste my fury.
Knock-knock used to lighting enemies on fire first.
Nowhere to run.
This should do it.
This is going to hurt. Advance!
Be easier if you not fight back.
Patrizio Turinos!
I aim true.
A calculated risk. This will hurt.
Cool it. Unworthy.
Come here, Bax. Knock-knock stab you.
I grant you death.
Let's try this way.
Cool off. Wretched things.
Which knife to use?
Cannot hide from me.
This should do it.
Taste my fury. Despicable.
Knock-knock used to lighting enemies on fire first.
Laborare sentes.
Nowhere to run.
A calculated risk.
This is going to hurt. Advance!
Be easier if not fight back.
Calm down. Not dead yet. This should hurt. Let yourself open.
Cool it! Unworthy.
Come here, back.
Didn't even break a sweat.
Ona Adayana.
Aim true.
Let's try this way. This should do it.
Cool off. Aperone senses.
which knife to use.
A calculated risk. This will hurt.
Taste my fury. Wretched things.
Knock-knock has to light enemies on fire first.
Cannot hide from me.
I am prepared. Time's not waiting. Ready for anything. I know what to do.
Share my path.
No mistakes.
Follow me.
Focus on the goal.
How may I help?
Magritio, Turinos. Magritio, Turinos. Magritio, Turinos. Magritio, Turinos.
Request. Amaranda gratior. Apparone sentence. Apparone sentence. have Aranda Gratior.
I am prepared. Time's not waiting. Ready for anything.
I shall end this suffering.
Despicable.
Let's try this way.
Be easier if you not fight back.
Nowhere to run.
This is going to hurt.
Magritio Turino.
Advance!
I need to
I
concentrate.
will grant your
Becoming
request.
distracted leads to becoming dismembered. I know what to do.
Speak.
Where now?
Be on guard.
Something bothering you?
I can help. I was blessed by the goddess of death. I am eager to spread her blessing as far and wide as possible.
Knock hears. With ears.
In due time.
Listening as hard as I can.
I am prepared.
This road we share. Watch your step.
That is possible.
Time's not waiting.
Confide in me.
Magritium Turino.
Focus on the goal.
I'm listening.
Magritium Turino.
Depend on me.
Minimosi Travisi. Minimo
Ready for anything?
Travisi.
Your orders.
Minimosi travisi. Minimosi travisi. Minimosi travisi. Minimosi travisi.
Right here, my friend.
Aborane sentes.
I know what to do.
Share your troubles.
Ona Adayana.
I am prepared.
Enjoy your final moments.
This should do it.
I aim true. Get yourself exposed.
Unworthy.
You forced my hand.
Come here, Bax. Knock knock stab you. Which knife to use?
A calculated risk.
I grant you death.
Wretched things. Despicable.
Knock knock used to lighting enemies on fire first.
Cool off.
This will hurt.
Cannot hide.
No
me.
mistake.
Did not fight back. Then kind of fight.
Nowhere to run.
Taste my fury. Advance!
Let's try this way.
I aim true. Bullseye.
Be easier if you not fight back.
This is going to hurt. Unworthy.
This should do it.
I grant you death.
Come here, Bax. Not gonna stab you.
Ready for anything. Count on me. I know what to do. Focus on the goal. That is not far.
You cannot stand against me. Cool off. Wretched things.
Which knife did you use?
Cannot hide from me.
A calculated risk. I'll try to make this swift.
This body holds no more.
Taste my fury.
Despicable.
Knock knock. You're lighting enemies on fire first.
Time's not waiting.
Assist me or lose me.
How may I help? There are other ways.
Turinos. Magritio Turinos.
No
I will
mistakes.
indulge you.
It shall be done. Ready for anything?
If you wish.
Now is the beginning of the hunt.
This is going to hurt.
Nowhere to run.
Be easier if you not fight back.
Laborane Sentes.
Advance.
Cool it.
This body holds no more.
I aim true.
This will hurt.
Unworthy.
Cool off.
I grant you death.
Let's try this way.
Come here, Bax. Not gonna stab you.
Wretched things. Despicable.
Taste my fury.
Cannot hide from me.
Patricium Turinos!
Advance!
This is going to hurt.
Oh!
Nowhere to run.
This should do it.
Which knife to use?
Unworthy.
Cool it.
I aim true.
A calculated risk.
Knock usually lighting enemies on fire first.
I know what to do.
Agreed.
I am prepared. Focus on the goal. Time's not waiting. Ready for anything. I know what to do.
I agree.
No mistakes. Focus on the goal.
Follow me.
Not more runner and talker than
Glenn, you
fighter.
dead. Cannot hide from me.
Cool off.
Wretched thing.
Be easier if you not fight back. Ooh, that one. Nice time.
No strike wasted.
I am prepared. Ready for anything.
Something bothering you?
Time's not
Scared?
waiting.
You should be.
That exposed.
Confide in me.
I know what to
Show
do.
my path.
Focus on the goal. As it should be. No mistakes.
Clomp, clip, clomp.
I am prepared.
I'm listening.
Ready for anything. I know what to do.
But of course.
Time's not waiting. Focus on the goal.
A horrible battle awaits us, my spring. But I believe it's for the best. We will save you and your kingdom. We must. We should have finished our search. But it's too late now. There's a battle ahead. A horrible battle.
Words, words. How little value we attach to them, and how much they truly mean. But I've grown tired of words and prophecies. I will no longer predict chaos and death. Instead, I will show them to you, myself.
Oh yes, the time has come! The time of fate and curses!
Despicable.
Come here, Bax. Not gonna stand you.
Nowhere to run.
Taste my fury.
This will hurt. Let yourself open.
Which way to use?
Advance!
I aim true.
This is going to hurt.
Let's try this way.
Patrizio Turinos!
Not used to lighting enemies on fire first.
You don't seem to like my curses! Maybe I like myself better?
Unworthy.
Be easier if you not like that.
This should do it.
Dawn flap.
Come here, Bax. Not gonna stab you.
A calculated risk. Cannot hide from me.
The time for laughter is past. It's the hour of hunting and chaos.
Submit.
Nowhere to run.
Which knife to use?
I'm wounded.
Not used to lighting enemies on fire first.
This will hurt. I didn't even break a sweat.
Pathfinder Durinos!
Good. Dead.
Taste my fury.
Be easier and not fight back.
Let's try this way.
That one went deep.
There are other ways to test
Pathfinder
that.
Durinos!
Cannot hide from me. Ursa. No strength wasted. This was not part of the plan.
Despicable.
I'm wounded.
Nowhere to run.
Cool it. Which knife to use?
Enough! Time for masks is over. You risk challenging an eldest, and I accept the challenge. You will fight not a mere embodiment, but my true essence. This is my essence. I don't need magic or servile monsters to destroy you. Words are enough. Yes, words. I once told you, words spoken in the right time and place possess the power of the storm. You lightheartedly answer that you know what your power and essence are, in jokes and lightness with which they are said. I remember your answer. The world remembers it too. Your answer, your heart, your essence. Now, cursed king, I'm taking this part of your soul, as I took away Nerissa's ability to love. What you called your essence is yours no more. Let us continue. We both wear a crown. But what do you own? A meager patch of land, a few thousand souls? My dominion is chaos and magic, madness and deceit. Your power is nothing compared to mine. That is why you are helpless before me. You will take my every blow as a divine punishment, as something imminent. I'm curious what you think of me, cursed king. Do you see me as a villain or a simple joker? In truth, well, I'll never be able to conceive of the truth. Being an eldest means being one of the many strings that hold the world in place. Being an eldest means being such a vast and self-sufficient value that one's equals become strangers and one's inferiors are entirely insignificant. I am an eldest. Laughter, guile, transformation, that's what I am. Being what I am, I will let you feel a modicum of my loneliness. I will take away your pillar of strength. Good. You can play with words. Let us see if you can withstand the heat of my fire.
You asked for it.
This should do it.
Not used to lighting enemies on fire first.
Advance!
I grant you death.
A calculated risk.
Be easier if you not fight back.
Taste my fury.
Unworthy.
Cannot hide from me.
This will hurt.
Defeat. What a refreshing feeling. I don't remember sensing it for us millennia. But what's next? How will you end this story? Listen, I know. Elegant and refined. The hero defeats a deity in battle. Impressive. It grants the victor power and immortality. The hero enters the chambers of the deity to become his champion and herald, eternal, powerful, equally glorified both in the first world and in Galarian. His kingdom healed from its wounds and flourished under the rule of the immortal champion. A beautiful ending, isn't it? And this legend is yours for the asking.
My spring, I beg you, do not listen. There is poison and evil triumph in his words. We may not be able to kill him, but surrendering now is the greatest mistake we could make. But even so, let wicked fate strike only me. Do you hear me, eldest? Take me, your favorite toy, and let the king and his kingdom go in peace.
You are so beneficent, trespasser. I didn't expect to see you like this. I might even accept this sacrifice, but what do you say? That is easy. I will return your kingdom to Galarian and strengthen its connection to the First World. In their homeland, the Fae can endlessly return to life. I will give to you the same gift. So long as you remain an enclave of the First World, death within its borders will never threaten you. As for the prize, I'm not offering you the position of a servant. Believe it or not, I am your mate. Divine power and immortality are a heavy burden. To accept it means losing all your friends and companions, but you can find allies and reliable assistance. This is what I'm looking for. A herald and a general with whom I can share eternity, and together we'll play 1,000 wonderful pranks and spread our power across the First World and further. Much further.
Agree to his offer. Now I regret that my heart can love again. The sound of these words wouldn't hurt.
What is that, trespasser? Don't you want the best for your chosen one? As for you, if he agrees to my offer, you may go wherever you wish. I will not bother you again, if you're smart enough to stay out of my sight. And his.
I can't let that happen, my spring. You, your subjects and companions, will be hostages in an eternal war with a deity. Let him take me instead, and allow you to live.
So be it. This performance has run its course. It would be unwise to continue. Besides, I have no love of dying and returning to life. My fellow eldest are very good at playing especially intricate pranks at that exact moment.
Farewell, my spring. Let us say goodbye quickly and end this painful moment. I cannot allow you to be harmed. That is why I must remain to the court of the Lantern King, a safeguard and hostage. I will try to ensure that the eldest's eyes never again stray to your lands. Remember the sad nymph, Nyrissa. Or forget, if you wish. There is but one thing I ask of you. Be happy.
You were cursed by my will. By my will, you are now freed from the curse. May the shackles be broken, fetters be loosened. What's been stolen will be returned. What's been divided will be made whole again. I say farewell, and release your kingdom to the material plane. Go, be glad of your ordinary mortal life. Forget the gods of the First World. Now they no longer concern you.
Now that the eldest and other spiteful beings wouldn't be bothering us, the king returned to his subjects and celebrated the victory and the end of the kingdom's miseries with great fanfare. Everything gradually returned to normal, including our exciting lives. Not always peaceful, but also not troubled by invasions from another world. And little by little, our heroes and the common folk began to forget the sorrows of the past. Sometimes, on clear spring nights, the king saw dreams. In them, the nymph Nyrissa, pale and exhausted, walked through endless mist as she helplessly searched for salvation. Under the wise leadership of the king, the stolen lands became a true country. There was still much to be done, of course, and some of it will need to be finished by our heroes' descendants. But there are no longer cut purses on every corner, and the peasants aren't afraid some new self-proclaimed chief will show up and strong-arm himself into power. Just half a year after the war with the First World, Galt moved its troops to the southern border of the kingdom. Their attack was rebuffed. The enemy state's infantry retreated when the army's wizards brought down rains of fire and magical arrows on the heads of the flabbergasted enemy soldiers. Since then, Galt hasn't risked crossing any borders again, fearing cruel retaliation for further insolence. The feud between Brevois North and South, which had been smoldering for ages, finally sparked the fires of civil war. We didn't interfere, watching as the forces of House Sertova and the Sword Lords slaughtered each other. Alternating between brief truces and fresh fights, Brevois was flooded with blood and grew weak. Its leaders could only watch helplessly as their border territories were slowly annexed by neighbors, until they fell to squabbling among themselves. The butchery in Brevois jeopardized the peace of the entire region. Amiri didn't remain leader of the Tiger Lords for long. Ruling was certainly not her calling. The years she spent with them were enough for them to regain their forces, though, and they recovered to be one of the best mercenary armies in the region again. They revere her as a great hero, even more than they once worshipped Armagh. And they respect our king, of course. He was a comrade in arms of the great Amiri, after all. Their tribe came to be loyal allies. Pitax almost returned to its former state. A joyful city filled with beers of dubious quality and deals of questionable legality. The old trade houses lost the crown, but they retrieved the property Iravetti had taken from them. Soon, Pitax became almost like a second capital in the kingdom, a thriving city through which rivers of money from across the region ran. Governor Mascani dips into this stream with both hands, of course, but the king looks the other way, since he's loyal and he governs the city well. Amid chaos and fighting, Headmistress Gitaren managed to preserve the Academy of the Arts, though not its reputation. Only sycophants willing to dash off odes to the highest bidder, primarily our king, stayed to work and study under her tutelage. One could say the Academy still flourishes, though in the same way a pond covered with duckweed turns green on a sleepy summer day, slowly becoming a swamp. No one dreams of studying at the Academy anymore, but for those more concerned with reality than dreams, it will always have a comfortable room. Tartuk, who never succeeded in restoring his gnome appearance, seems to have completely forgotten about who he once was. It no longer bothers him, for now the Purple Kobold has become a real king to his tribe. Keeping his word to the king, Tartuk and his subjects behave themselves, living peacefully with the citizens of nearby settlements. Some of the reptiles even managed to find work digging wells and dungeons in people's settlements, for a small fee, of course. After enduring so many storms and troubles, Varnhold eventually turned into a real city. Daring settlers decided to conquer the vast, wild expanses of Dunsword, and despite all odds, they succeeded. The modest colony that almost vanished at the hands of an ancient lich turned everything around to become a thriving city with lively river trading. Magar Varn didn't stay at the court for long. Having saved some seed money, he left service and organized a new Varnling host together with his general. And this new party of mercenaries has already helped our kingdom more than a few times. Agay, the Spriggan leader, learned a valuable lesson after surviving his meeting with the king and even regaining his tribe's home. Don't try to occupy seemingly empty settlements anymore. Instead, the Spriggans settled across Dunsword's wild borderlands and proclaimed it as their domain. Keeping the peace in a situation like that seems like the stuff of dreams, as evidenced by the occasional lost patrols and stolen cattle. Peace reigns in the caves beneath the old sycamore. The kobolds and mites continue to explore the depths and learn simple crafts from each other. Rumor has it, the first mite-kobold wedding even happened not long ago. That said, settlers still aren't rushing to build new homes in the area. Some kind souls even put up warning signs along the roads. Beware, traveler. Steer clear of the old sycamore. Another inscription soon appeared over the sign, though. No keep going treasure ahead, honest. Oleg's trading post now resembles a border stronghold more than a haven for merchants and travelers. A town sprung up around it, from which the leader of the guard operates. Oleg and Svetlana aren't too happy about it, but at least they don't have to fear for their lives anymore. Jod remained loyal to the king to the end of his days, healing the sick and generously sharing his austere wisdom with anyone who wished to hear it, and some who didn't. Having fulfilled his duty to the ruler, Erastel's priest peacefully departed this world, surrounded by friends and disciples. Having participated in Lamashtu's ritual, Olika gave birth to a strong and healthy baby. Sadly, the child grew into an unruly and violent adolescent. Having maimed a peer at just 10 years of age, the boy escaped to the Gnarl Marches, fleeing the rage of a mob that tore his mother to pieces instead. No one knows what happened to the lad, but legends of Lamashtu's child, who sometimes kills lost travelers and sometimes leads them to safety, are passed on by word of mouth throughout the area. Reinhardt became a loyal ally and trade partner of the kingdom, and Darwin himself had been seen as a frequent guest in the capital. The elegant monarch of the neighboring kingdom has broken many hearts at court. After his visits, many young guards and servants have been seen staring through windows, sighing wistfully about something. The Fae took a fancy to the kingdom, feeling totally at home here. They often play various pranks, but they never do any serious harm. Falcos and Teresia managed to restore the magic forest. Once freed of the anger of the Scythe Tree, people returned to the abandoned village, and it became a haven of friendship between the Fae and ordinary people, just like old times. The lizard folk of the Longtail tribe returned to live on the shores of Candlemere, but they couldn't return to their ancient way of life. Living alongside people, the lizard folk adopted their behaviors, habits, and even religion. More and more of the Longtail tribe pray not to the spirits of their ancestors, but to Erastil or Gorum. They even began to forget their original language. I hope someone writes down their songs and legends before they all sink into oblivion. The Sweet Teeth departed on a journey, hoping to see as many wonders as possible of this world and others. They keep sending us news from every corner of the map. Their bright painted wagon, drawn by a bull mastodon, crisscrosses Galarian, somehow appearing in the center of one incredible story after another. Evindra was glad to see the Lantern King's plans turn to dust. She spent some time helping restore the kingdom after the calamity, then returned home to the First World. They say the rebellious spirit of her cousin Nyrissa awoke within her as well. Avendra is said to recount our story to the Fae, encouraging them to question the power and might of the eldest. After the victory, the storyteller abandoned his affairs and began spending a lot of time alone in contemplation. He eventually bid farewell to the king and left his lands, but I suspect the inhabitants of Galarian haven't heard the last of this mysterious traveler, for his own story is hardly finished. Amiri remained a pariah to her native tribe, but she stayed close friends with Nylak, who ruled the Six Bears wisely and taught them to survive in the unfamiliar plains and cities. The restless barbarian would often travel for long stretches of time, but sooner or later she would always return to her old friends, bragging about new scars and recounting new feats, many of which Nylak immortalized in song. The Tiger Lords revered Amiri as a great hero, but she didn't stay chieftain for long. After all, she was much better at crushing skulls than giving orders. Valerie stayed to serve the king, but not for long. She soon laid down her weapon to start her own family. Valerie married a simple farmer and bore him 2 beautiful children. They settled away from the capital, where she was soon forgotten. Harren became famous, respected by dwarves throughout our kingdom as well as our neighbors, even as far as the 5 Kings Mountains. He's often been asked to help out or teach others, and he's never denied anyone, despite his grumbling. Some people even listen to his preaching. Lucky for us, there's a lot less howling about the end of the world now, and more wise words of moderation and humility. Not all of his disciples turned to Grotus, but everyone took away something useful from his teachings. Jaethal spent some time at the king's court, but she then left to do whatever it was her new goddess required. She must have become a great inquisitor for Pharasma, as no one would know the ways of the undead and Urgathoa's cultists as well as a former undead cultist would. She was also seen in the company of Salim Godafar. It's unlikely the two became friends, being so different from one another, but it's a known fact that they worked together. Once the war was over, Tristan kept his promise to Sarenrae. In the middle of celebrating the king's victory, the priest suddenly disappeared in a flash of light, vanishing forever. I hope Sarenrae didn't take the Movonic Deva's memory, so her servant might still remember us and the Stolen Lands. Or if she did, I hope he was at least able to forget everything about the lands in which he endured so much suffering. After the war ended, Ekin hung up his bow on the wall and traded the path of the ranger in for the craft of the carpenter. It may not be the most heroic ending to a tragic story like his, but as Torag is my witness, Ekin's happy with it, as is Alina, who became his wife and is bearing his child. Any baby born into this family will be pretty lucky, since the king himself still visits his old friend and will likely become the child's patron. As for Knock Knock, apologies, I mean Hero Knock Knock, he continued his questionably heroic efforts in the Stolen Lands. Despite whatever mess he fell into, no matter the danger he leapt into, he always seemed to scrape through just a little better off than before. Like true heroes, he simply never gave up, struggling on and meeting the challenge of each new day with a spirit that no mishap or misfortune could ever quell. Absent her sister's influence, and after enduring their break, Kalika has become harsher and more intolerant of evil. She used all her influence as the legendary king's companion to create a string of shelters for young tieflings. These children have become her personal army, and as they matured, many have devoted their lives to fighting evil, especially devils and their plots. Despite all the woes that befell the country, our king remains a strong leader. Many noble houses from neighboring lands wouldn't hesitate to be related to him, and they regularly send a variety of marriage proposals. As for myself, the author of this book, Lindsay, who never chose a pretty nickname. I'm still here, inside my creation within the Capitol Library. I live just like I always dreamed, surrounded by people and books. And not a day goes by without someone turning my pages. My story inspired many others to take up the quill. My readers have written many fierce books, articles, and pamphlets, flinging truth in the faces of tyrants. What more could I dream of? I hope, oh honored reader, that this story offered you some daring ideas. Or at least some entertainment. In any case, it's time to set the final period.